Hi, it's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and here on YouTube you know me as Epic Fantasy, and this tutorial is how to make the Killmonger Spear from the movie Black Panther. Isn't that nice? I'm really happy with how this came out. It's really good. That's just foam board and a wooden dowel and a shoelace. Fun project. You know, people really like the Killmonger sword. I have that tutorial. So I said, hey, you know what, I'll make the Killmonger Spear. It's kind of unique. I haven't made a whole lot of spears. One of my most popular spears is the Spartan Spear. That's a nice tutorial, get a lot of views. I'll put a link somewhere so you can see it. So in this tutorial, I also show you where on my website you can get the template. Makes it very easy for you to make. So you use that to make your spear. Thanks for watching my videos. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. If not, hit that button. If you'd like to support me in my endeavors here, I'm like 900 videos and all kinds of stuff. And you know, check out my Patreon page. I'd really appreciate your help if you could, you know, donate $1 or $2 a month. That'd be wonderful. Every dollar helps. I have people that are my patrons. So let's launch into the introduction, and then let's do how to make the great spear. It looks good. I like it. The Killmonger Spear from the movie Black Panther. Dioramas, origami, catapults, and trebuchets, telescopes, terrariums, bonsai trees, and paper games, swords and shields, and real blacksmithing, rattle rockets, animation. I teach the art of real creation. StormTheCastle.com. Let's make something. Alrighty, so we're going to use one sheet of foam board. It's 20 inches by 30 inches and 5 millimeters thick. Print up the template. The link to where to get that template is in the description of this video down below. Take the template down in a couple of spots, maybe 3 spots, to the foam board. And then using a ballpoint pen or a blunted pencil, press firmly on all the lines, tracing the pattern onto the foam board. What happens is it causes indents in the foam. And I'll show you. So we're tracing this pattern of the template onto the foam board. So now you can't see it very well here in the video, but you'll see the indents. Then you can draw them out with a pencil or a pen. But take your time. And when you're transferring the pattern, press pretty firmly. So once you've got that drawn out, go ahead and cut it out. And let me show you something about cutting foam board. When you start, particularly with curves, only use the very tip of the cutting knife, because then you can have good control over curves. If you press too hard the first time, making the first cut, you can tear the foam, the paper and the foam, and it makes it difficult to do clean curves. But you see I've got a nice curve there because the first pass was just with the tip of the knife. You know, the deeper you go into the knife, the wider it is, the more difficult it is to control. So now cutting foam board is a 3-pass method. First pass cuts the top layer of paper. Second pass cuts the foam. Third pass you press down deep and cut the bottom layer of paper, and you've got a nice cut. See? Easy enough. That's how to cut foam board. Use a brand new blade on your X-Acto knife. So go ahead and cut that thing out. The blade of the spear. Oh, you know, hey, listen, I do have a tutorial on how to forge a blacksmith up a spear. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link to that too. But there you go. Looks good. Now we're going to do this centerpiece. We're going to make 2 of those, just like this. And we're also going to do this outer shape of the teardrop. We're going to make 2 of those too. I'll show you real quick how to do that. You know, use this. Don't use the template anymore. Use your piece. It'll make for better matching. You know, trace it and then trace the internal lines like this, and I'll show you what I mean. It's very easy to do. This project, because of the cutting, takes a little bit of time, but you'll be fine. I'm going to take you through it step by step. But now take a look. Remove that, and you've got that kind of a thing going on. Just finish off those lines. And then you have the teardrop shape, or a comet maybe. And make 2 of these. Do this twice. Now for the center line, it's like a spear. One of the things I like about this spear tip is it's like a spear within a spear. So that center section is a spear. Do the same thing, trace it, and then finish off those lines. And make 2 of those also. And if they're not very straight, or you're unhappy with how straight they are, use a straight edge to a ruler to really make them nice and crisp and clean like that, nice and straight. It'll look better. So now you've got 2 teardrops and 2 spikes, I guess you could call them. Cut all of those out. And then the lion's share of this project will be done. And how about a spike? How about a unicorn horn? That's what that looks like. That's a unicorn horn. And that is the horseshoe for a unicorn. Nobody ever talks about what a unicorn's horseshoe would look like. Make 2 of those. We'll call them teardrops. So cut those out, all 4 pieces. Now let's put it together. And this is where it starts to look good. Take that centerpiece you made, glue the external unicorn shoe, I guess I should say. I shouldn't say horseshoe. That's kind of a contradiction. Make the unicorn shoe and glue it to it like this. And then glue the unicorn horn into the center. Just like that. And then when you flip it over and you do the other side, you do the same thing on the other side, a shoe and a horn. And you might need to flip them again. If they don't line up correctly, that's because of the way we cut them out of foam board. Let's see if I show it. I'm not sure I show it. You see? Flip it. See? There you go. That's important. They will line up correctly. Same thing with the horn. Flip it if need be. See, I just flipped it. Flip it like that. Boom. And glue those on. Now your assembly will be done. Nice. Now this part makes it look really good, but it can be very tricky. Bevel most of those edges. Bevel the 2 edges on the horn and the inner and outer edges on the shoe. And beveling is kind of tricky. You might want to practice on some scraps of foam board first, because it's easy to tear and to make it all rough. But do the best you can. But it really makes a big difference in how the spear tip looks. And I'm letting this run quite a bit because I really want to show you the beveling. I usually edit this out, but take your time. The blade trails your hand. I don't know how to describe that best, but my hand is first and the blade is kind of lagging behind. That's the best way to cut a bevel. You'll have less tearing. Now let's see if we do it again and I'll show you. Now watch how I shuffle my hand forward. See it? My hand now, my left hand goes towards the forward direction of the cut. So the blade is lagging behind. It's almost like you're pulling the blade. And that makes a better bevel. It's easier to do. Alright, so enough of the beveling. Practicing. And that's it. So, looks good. Really got a nice look to this. Amazing what you can do with a knife and glue and foam board. And any inconsistencies or parts that aren't very smooth, you can go ahead and use sandpaper on them. 400 grit is what I use. It usually works pretty good. Clean everything up. Smooth it all out. And the smoothness is important. It'll make it look more like metal. Yeah, if you haven't visited my website in a while, you should check it out. I have a lot of stuff, a lot of different subjects. Something must interest you. Of course, I have hundreds of weapons and armor. To blacksmithing, origami, bonsai, travel, all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm using a broomstick for this. It's kind of broomstick that screws into like either a mop or something. Put it on the tip of the spear like this and mark it. And make your cut a little small. We want a snug fit, if possible. Try to get a snug fit. You want the broomstick to fit in there snugly. It'll be stronger. Put a liberal amount of hot glue in there and glue that dowel right in there. And mine is like 4 feet long, I think. I think that wooden dowel is 4 feet long. But take your time, and an important thing is turn it sideways and look at it from the side view to make sure it lines up very cleanly, nice and straight. It's a spear, and everything has to be on a perfectly straight. So like that. Make sure that line is straight. The spear continues the straightness of the wooden pole. Okay, so now cut yourself a piece of foam board to whatever size you like. I think mine is about 1.5 inches wide. Peel off the top layer of paper. If you don't know how to peel off the top layer of paper, you use acetone on it. That dissolves the glue. And then wrap it around the shaft of the spear like this and glue it in place. If you can, pull it tighter on the part that's away from the spear tip. It looks like a collar. It's nice looking. So let's use a Sargent Metallic silver paint. Give it a try, see what we think. I've used all kinds of different types of paints for silver and gold. I haven't used this one in such a long time, and I don't remember how good it is, but I said, hey, you know what, I'll give it a try. And I'm really happy with the results. This Sargent Metallic paint is pretty good. Has a pretty good silver metal look to it. Be sure to check out my playlist. You know, I mentioned earlier in the video, I have somewhere around 900 videos. All kinds of stuff. My blacksmithing stuff is very popular. My Skyrim weapons and armor is very popular. I've got Assassin's Creed. I've got all kinds of stuff. Monster Hunter. And a lot of creative stuff. Stop motion animation. Take your time. What's the hurry? Look through all my stuff. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it. Check out my Patreon page. And there you go. Paint the shaft of the spear brown. And you've got yourself a nice spear. Now from here, there's some detail work you can do. And I tried a few different types of details. Doesn't that look good? I really like it. I like it. It came out good. With threads or twine or shoelace or string, leather, strips of leather you can use, you know, for the detail work in it. But I minimized the detail. I kind of liked it even without any of this. But let me give you some ideas. A brown shoelace, if you can get one. You know, some twine. You know, wrap those 2 or 3 center sections around the center spear tip. See, the twine's okay. Yeah, I took it off. But this way you can see what you can do. Be creative with it. I ended up going with just a few wraps of brown shoelace, and that's pretty good. I like it. Simple, beautiful, nice. So thanks for watching this video. If you make this spear, this project, or any of my projects for that matter, send me a picture. I will put the picture on my website, and I will email you a certificate of contribution. Thank you very much. Lots more projects coming. Let me know if you want me to do another Black Panther weapon. There are a lot of them. Thanks. Thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you're not a subscriber, hit that button. I always have lots of fun and interesting and very creative projects. I do 2 new ones every week. As an example, here's a couple more videos you might want to watch.